Just on today's game, it was nice to see us let the seniors go out on a win. You look at, and we talked about this class going into the week and what they've accomplished, and now that's 4 win seasons in a row. So it's really important for us to come in, get a win versus a very solid West Liberty team, and give those guys a guaranteed win season. And for a senior class to say that all 4 years in college they had winning seasons is a pretty good accomplishment. We feel really proud to have these guys. We're going to miss them next year, but they've got a great career they can look back on. They should feel very, very proud of the accomplishments they've achieved. Really great to see the defense play out. What was the final turnover count?
I think they had 4
interceptions and 1 lost fumble.
I mean, defense is. I mean, they're playing great football, and they've played great football all season long, and they've really carried our football team all season long. Offensively, it was good to see us come out early, get some points, and then it seemed like we just couldn't get it together. It was a penalty here or a mental mistake there, and that's kind of been the story of the year for the offense, and it's shown signs of getting better, but we got to keep coaching until it comes out of the hole. But nice to see a win. Nice to see Andy Ellington get a couple of field goal attempts and makes. So there are some bright spots. The defense is very bright. Andy Ellington, his kicks is very bright. I thought special teams was solid. Good win versus a good opponent.
Keep talking about the seniors and what it means for them to go out on the win, but there's still plenty at stake, next week.
There is. I mean, I think Glenville won today, or Glenville lost today to Shepherd. So if Shepherd lost, puts it in a 4-way tie for first, as long as everyone wins next week. So that'd be a great accomplishment. Say you win another conference championship. It's not outright, but it's still a piece of it, and you can still say conference champion at the end of the year. So that's something we're still playing for. Again, it's all about us. It's about what we do. It doesn't mean anything if we don't take care of West Virginia Wesleyan next week. But it's nice to still have that scenario still play going the last week of the season.
I know at the beginning of the season there were, it seemed like a lot of questions developed on the offensive side, and yet today, a lot of 3 different running backs sharing time back there, 6, 7 different receivers. Did you think the offense would develop like it has so far?
Well, we still didn't really. We still only got 2 touchdowns, so I wouldn't call it development or developed. I would call it development. It's a work in progress. We've had a lot of starters go down that side of the ball. We had a lot of starters on our team go down this year, and those guys are finding a way just to do enough to win. But the defense is carrying this football team.
Did it ever become a thing of the defense thinking it was carrying it, or was it still just a complete team?
Nah, I mean the weird thing about our defense is they were almost upset they only got to play 19 plays the first half. And like, are you serious? We're controlling the clock. We're keeping you guys off the field, keeping you fresh. And really, I'm glad we did, because they had to play a lot the second half, and they did a great job stepping up and keeping them out of the end zone.
A lot of people talk about Wesleyan's quarterback, Nate Montana. I know it's probably going to be they're going to bring some offense. Is it tough for a defense to kind of prepare for them?
Well, we'll start preparing on them on Monday. Right now, we're going to feel good about this win for 24 hours and then go forward.
Forcing 5 turnovers. I mean, could you ask more of your defense kind of dropping those big plays, getting a safety as well?
No, I mean they've been the heart and soul of this team all year, and defense wins championships. And if things fall the right way, we win another championship this year. But for all the adversity this team's been through, for all the injuries, for all the different guys going down, for these seniors to keep this program together, for us to take a situation that could have been catastrophic and make it right, it's a pretty good accomplishment for those guys.
Your comments on the punt snap that went to Brad Cox, but he had the common sense to keep the play alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of Brad's career. He's a very level-headed guy. You don't know if Brad's happy or sad. Brad's just Brad, and he's always cool-headed, calm, and he performs that way under pressure. And we were fortunate they didn't have a rush call, because we had him backed up and he had some time. But he did that at West Virginia State game in a crucial situation. So I'm not surprised Brad did it. Brad did it when he was a freshman, and now for him to do it his last game at home, of course he's going to do it. That's kind of needed to happen for Brad Cox to go out the right way.
Ja'Cory Robbins got a lot of carries today. Calvin could not seem to get on track. Tell me what was going through your minds in the.
Well, I think we want to rotate those guys. We feel that both of those guys are good enough to win with. So as much of the contact that the running backs have in college football anymore, we don't feel you can have that feature guy that week in and week out that's going to get 30 carries, because that's a lot for a body to take. That's a lot of pounding. And so we want to spread the carries out. We weren't trying to play Ja'Cory more than Calvin on more than Ja'Cory. That's just how it ended up. And sometimes one's hot, and the other one's not, and we'll keep playing it that way. And those guys, I'm sure miss some reads, but we got to do a much better job up front block.
Ask this of Coach Wylock. A lot of points have been put up in this series with West Liberty in recent years. Were you at all surprised that the final score is 21-3?
I'm not. I mean, I think this conference in 4 years that I've been in became a defensive league. And we talked about that on Thursday, of how the conference has shifted to putting more scholarship money on defense and shifted to really stopping these high-powered offenses. And I'm sure 2 years from now we'll be sitting at the same table and we'll say, man, this is an offensive league. I don't know. But that's the trend. It's very much a defensive league, and that's how we've won every game this year. It's been a low-scoring defensive battle where we've played smart and not made many mistakes to the other team, and came out with a win.
Whoever wants to answer, it seems like this team's rolling right when they need to, when it's most important. You guys kind of agree with that? The team kind of getting into a system?
Yeah. We've gotten going these past about 3 weeks now, really picking up our game, which it's been needed so we still have a chance to be co-champs of the conference.
Josh, sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Tell me about the ratio of the running plays to passing plays. Did you think you'd have to throw it this much?
You kind of expect, you prepare to either throw a lot or run a lot. We usually keep it pretty balanced. But they had a good game plan against our run, so we converted to throwing a little more today.
What level of confidence does it give you to have a backfield where it's not just one guy, but you have several guys you can depend on?
It gives you a lot of confidence, because anytime I see any of them rotate in, I still know it's going to be the same level of play, regardless who's coming in. They can all make plays, they all run hard. They see the holes well, they hit them. So it makes you as a quarterback, makes you feel good. You got multiple guys who can do that.
And tell me about your mindset when you came out for the first play, this senior year in your last home game.
It was exciting, a little emotional, knowing it's the last time you're going to go on your home field. But it was exciting, and it was good to get the win, go out on top of the home field.
How does it also help when these late season games mean something too? Does it also mean what's it mean in your mindset when also these late season games mean something to the conference?
Yeah, it amplifies it a little bit, makes it a little more intense, a little more exciting every time you come off the field with the W, when it does have such a meaning to it to still be in the race.
Josh, how do you take kind of what's at stake next week, what you guys can still play for in practice this week, kind of keep everything like we've talked about going the past 3 weeks into practice in the next game?
Yeah, it's intense, and that we still have a part of the conference championship, but we're really not going to change anything. We're still going to go out there with an intense practice. Our intensity level is not going to change. We practice hard, we practice fast, and we practice good.
4 interceptions, fumble recovery. Was there something that you guys kind of kept keying in on? It seemed like guys, West Liberty players, were on the ground after every play.
We capitalized on their mistakes. Today we just capitalized on all their mistakes, having all these turnovers and everything. as a defense as a whole, I think we did an amazing job.
Josh, tell me about the fumble recovery. How many fumble recoveries have you had? How many chances have you had to hang on to the football in the game?
I've had a few fumble recoveries, but in high school I was always told to go down, don't run with it. But I called it, thanks to Jake Lilly, I called it, and I just saw green grass. And being a big guy, I usually don't get the ball to run with. But what I get, 10 yards maybe? It was fun. Good way to go out and see a new game.
It seemed like just on kind of the sidelines and on the field, you guys are having fun today. You know, is that, you know, was today different than the other ones, or is it always like that?
It's usually like that. I mean, the intensity level was up, and we were making plays we should have made. Offense stayed on the field long enough to give us some breath and everything like that. Offense did good on my mind. And at defense, we were well rested when we got out there, and we were just capitalizing on everything.
Was it something that you really felt like, I want to get more time on the field as a defensive unit?
I mean, yeah, but it's a team effort. I mean, if I have to come out and Will Greathouse has to come in for like pass rushes and everything like that, that's fine. It's a team effort. We've got to do everything we can for a win.
I was just referring to the fact that the offense was on the field so much, taking up the time of possession, that you all didn't see the field that much in the first part of the game.
Oh, that's fine with me. I'm being a big guy. My stamina's not too good anyways, so I get excited when they're having 10, 15 play drives.
And finally, Josh, your comments on that safety, which gave you a good margin in the second half.
It was a big safety. Even if by having the chance they had scored 2 touchdowns, they still couldn't win the game because after their safety, we would have put up 1 point. Thanks to Ellington's big field goal there, it basically put a knife in the coffin.
Any other thing for Josh? Andy, tell me about being put out there and kicking into the wind or with the wind. Did that have any effect on you?
No, not for me. We didn't kick. We tried some long ones today, but my coaches always have faith in me, so I just go out there and kick the same as I kick an extra point as I would a long field goal. I just do what I can. I figure if they put me out on the field, I can make it. It's just up to me.